Bringing up a Zannos list. This is one of the pillars that kind of it gets lost a little bit in the shuffle. It used to be much more popular, much more feared, but as Wild Sage has started to dominate metagame, this one hasn't shown as much. This one is by Livious. It's from the Alpha build. I want to say it's the August list, but I want to at least give credit where the list is. So let's bring this thing up. All right, so starting with, we have Angel of Death, Essence Drain, Final Task. Basically, in most Zannos lists, you want to just keep being able to play Zannos. And speaking of, let's at least look at and talk about what's going on. So it has Loyalty X. Its ability to create a bunch of zombies, even just 3, is usually a bit threatening. And in a list that's more dedicated towards him, it can get a little more out of hand. So with Final Task being able to bring back either a Zannos that has been traded with, or even some of their other creatures, and especially being able to bring back, say, an Angel Death, because Angel Death blowing up your own Zannos or stuff like that is a possibility. In a heavy evil list, you run Medusa. Necromancer Lord, really, again, you're supposed to be juggling Zannos, you're supposed to be juggling Medusa, stuff like that. Raxa, his ability to deal 2 to all opposing champions. That'll clear out a bunch of wolves. It'll clear out opposing zombies. Rift Summoner. Now, this, I would say it's for the people who don't play Zannos, this is actually almost a very necessary component, because it allows you to sacrifice your own champion, such as Zannos, such as Medusas, and keep juggling them with the board presence you have. Then we have Soul Hunter, really good blocker against Wild, but also you can, if your hand gets too full, you can discard them. If you have discard to a Thought Plucker, you have that. If you have a Rift Summoner out, just keep eating them for tokens and dealing 5 to your opponent. Zombie Apocalypse, the ability to break on their turn and put out a bunch of zombies is always good. Then we have Guilt Demon, the ability to keep their yard kind of cleared out. Heinous Feast, so you see we have a total of 5 pieces. We have 3 Guilt Demon, we have 2 Heinous Feast. Next we have Plentiful Dead, mostly just for kind of like the control matchup. You just are able to tack on for 1 life 2/2 zombie, which can go a long way to keeping things slowed down. Raxa's Curse, usually for this is more for dealing with any of the graveyard eaters. Let me bring those up real quick. There, let's go free, let's go Sage and Evil. You have to worry about Corpse Monger. Force Mage Apprentice isn't such a big deal. The other one would be here, Keeper of Secrets. You want to make sure those guys stay dead. It can also kill Muse, which is nice. Making sure the Muse stays dead and getting a demon out of it, because that's what it says. If you try to do this on an open board, you have to shoot your own demon, so make sure you don't do that. Unquenchable Thirst. A card that the more experience you have with it, the more impressive it gets, and some decks really do not run discard hate. I've actually had this used against me, and it's taken out a 10 toughness creature, so it's quite impressive. Wither, if you want to take out, one side of demons after a zombie apocalypse, if you need to take out a bunch of wolves, obviously it's free to take out the smaller creatures. Then there's a small suite here of, non-evil cards. Erase is just one of the best cards in the game. Whatever they play, set them back a turn. If it costs a gold, use your gold, get 2 cards out of the deal, set them back. Thought Plucker, just because it's a good control card, it keeps people in check. If you force them into wiping out the board based off 1 or 2 cards, you're doing a good job. Frantic Digging, it's simply put, you're running a Necromancer style deck, so putting, bodies into your yard is perfectly fine. Kong, being able to juggle them. You also have Final Task to bring them in, whenever needed. Surprise Attack. I mean, you keep seeing some of these cards over and over and over again, and at least for this game, you kind of have to have a plan for how they work as well as what to do against them. And then for the free cards, here we go, Wolfbite. Obviously, you take out Muse, you take out opposing Necromancers, you take out Actually, I was going to say Corpse Monger. You can't do that. It's mostly for Muse and opposing Necromancers, stuff like that. Small little threats. So let's see if we can get a game going. I'm sure you can hear my kids running around being energetic, recording early in the morning here. Let's see. There we are. I've been putting in a little extra effort to get more lists up so we can show off more things to expect as well as some ideas on what to be doing. I'm going to pause this and come back when I see a match. So, as much as I dislike, I went to Arena. Oh, good, it's Cutter. So this should be entertaining. I probably going to get my teeth kicked in. We have a surprise attack. We have Corpse Lord, Zombie Apocalypse, Medusa. We don't have any free stuff, but we do have a lot of threats to put down. We do have one or two answers. This should be pretty decent. So, right now, since Arena is constructed, I know if I need to show off one of my decks, I can just easily bring up Arena. We're going to see how many they pitched. They pitched 2. So they're already off to a start. There's going to be a Wild Sage. The Silver Dragons kind of hurts. Spike Trap just means I need to be a little more careful. So we're seeing what else we got. Silver Dragon, I mean, like, he basically has to take Silver Dragon. That's just kind of how it goes. I'll run out the Medusa and slap him around a bit. I'm not going to show him that I have Zannos. So I'll show him a Zombie Apocalypse. I'll show him a Raxa, because that could be almost any deck. I don't want him to know that I have a Zannos just yet. There we go. So let's attack first. See if we can draw out their gold. I mean, obviously, I've played the Cutter enough times. I know I'm not going to be able to draw out the poison, but we'll see how things go. With the surprise attack, we're probably going to do the check pass. There we go. So, no gold's been played. I'm in the leading board position. I'm going to check pass. If he can, do something with a 0 to make me, drop, okay. If there was a spike trap, he could have taken me out, but he's not that threatened by a single Medusa. Most likely he is bigger. Yeah, there we go. We have that. So if I Zombie Apocalypse now, and then Necromancer on my turn, that could be pretty good. I think we're just going to pass. No, I think let's get the board attack. Let's get a surprise attack. I want to try and move my position forward. Let's do Zannos, so the cat's out of the bag. I'll show him the full grip. He will not be surprised. But I also have my gold intact, and it'll come back to my turn. I mean, if he clears all my zombies, okay, but for 0, there's no way for him to clear everything out just yet. I'm going to run in, chip in, 1 by 1, which is going to be super annoying. But I obviously, if he blocks with his T-Rex, I need to have a solution. Now, the erase here, unlike most decks, I don't mind bouncing my own guy back to my hand. So, let's see. With all this stuff, I'm actually going to run Zannos out first. Now, normally, this would be a high risk. I'm fine with Zannos dying. If I absolutely need to, I can Essence Drain my own Zannos, but when he can do the job for me, I think that's a little bit of a waste. So he recycles. Obviously, we're in 3 colors, but we're seeing a lot of card turnaround. Let's do Battle Pass. There we go. It's a cheap little block. That's fine. Let's run out my Medusa. See if I can get that killed off. I'm sure at this point, yeah, there we go. All right, so he has that killed off. Good. Now, normally, I wouldn't run out 3, but in case there's any sort of ambush, I want to try and make it a little fat or a little tempting to draw the ambush out of his hand. Get him to spend that gold. Now, yes, he can spike trap me. But with only one card in the yard, he won't get the full value of the spike trap. So this is either going to cost him a gold or it's going to cost him 6 life. We're going to see where this goes. I mean, that's... Alright, so he'll pop 1. He pops my free 1. The wolf will probably check that. Perfectly fine. Now, I could Essence Drain, spend my gold, but I'm going to actually check pass because I have the erase. I can slow him down. Now, I have 1 in my yard. He has 1 in his yard. So we get about the same off a zombie apocalypse. So that's not really the parity that I want. Leading right in. All right. So let's just erase. So he's got me to spend my gold first. Drew into another Zannos, which always good. Pyrosaur clears up my stuff. I could Wolf Bite. I'm actually probably just going to eat the 6 on this one. Yeah, start my turn. Zannos still breathing. Now, obviously, if he lets my Zannos keep going, I have a Rift Summer followed into a Necromancer Lord. Things can get very entertaining. So let's attack in, see how they react to this. Well, I'm definitely going to Wolf Bite the Muse. That's the whole point of, we're now having a battle of free, trying to see if we can get the other one to pay their gold. And so far, I do not. So that was killed before blockers were able to be declared. There it is. I was able to get him to draw it out. That's fine. That's fine. So he did that. I'm going to follow that on my turn with my Zannos, showing him 6 cards, which I'm sure is not going to make him happy. Because that'll be 6 life off him, 6 life back to me, and I have an army in a can. Now, his Pyrosaur is very... There's probably definitely another Pyrosaur in hand. But that's a big army to be staring down. Like, and you're seeing, this is, I would call this a stereotypical Zannos play, where you just put one after the other. You don't try to put 2 down on the field. I mean, you can, but it leaves you wide open to the board clearing effects. I mean, we saw 1 Pyrosaur. We don't know how many more. We're now past the point where the Silver Dragon really scares us. There's a Raging T-Rex. I am not too concerned about that. I'm going to put down, see, there's the board clear. So he spent his gold. I'm not going to spend my gold. I'm actually going to take out his T-Rex. He actually did the work for me. And now we're up here at 37, looking, fairly confident on that. So I'm going to swing in. Actually, am I going to swing in first? Because I have a Zannos in the yard. Ooh, decisions. I think I'm actually going to bring out my second Zannos. So show him 2 cards again. I'll show him Zombie Apocalypse, and I'll show him the Raxa. This thing has Blitz. Going in, grabbing another Zannos, showing him 5 cards. I mean, obviously the point of choosing which ones to show. But you see, I'm able to threaten. He's now down to 11. Because as these Zannos, one right after the other, keep recycling them. You're losing 4 here, 5 there. My life total is at a point where he's not really in a good position, but we will see. There's still a way to come back, but this is definitely why you need to be prepared and play around Flash Fire. There's no way to prevent the Flash Fire from happening, but between Flash Fire and the Pyrosaur, he has answers, but not when I literally keep asking the question over and over and over again. So he dealt 7 there. I assume looking for a flash fire to finish off and clear up most of my board. There it is. But it also puts him down to 7 himself. I'm not perfectly fine with all that, but I'm not too concerned. How many guys do we have in the yard? We only have 3 in the yard. They have a few in the, yep. So he drew 2 off that, spent the gold on his turn. He has 4 in the yard, so a zombie apocalypse now, not great. I will be throwing down the Rift Summoner, because demon tokens are obviously bigger than zombie tokens. And this, in theory, with the 2 reveals, should kind of signal the end. I mean, if there's a hurricane, definitely, can come in and do quite a bit of damage. Don't get me wrong on that. And then we have a Thought Plucker to kind of force the issue. So let's throw Zannos in there. See if a hurricane's coming out of it. And again, that's just an assumption. I actually literally do not know his list. He's clearly playing some sort of 4-color mid-range deck, and it's got a lot of answers. But when I have a very consistent single plan, not as much. You can see we've spent 2 more minutes on our plays, but I don't see either of us going to time. Not when he's at 9 life, and it does not appear to be a Kark deck that can draw everything out. Nice. Bring back a T-Rex, showing me double Fireball. Impressive. Because obviously this will trade with the Zannos. But it hasn't come to me yet. I'm actually going to try to clear it out. So Fireball 1. I don't know why it was aimed at me. There it is. He knew from the tricks I showed. That's all. All right, let's end the recording there. We'll see it another time.